Hello students, welcome to the Rapid Revision Route. So today the topic we are going to revise in this Rapid Revision Route is tax invoice, trade note and debit note. So coming towards the word tax invoice. When we see the word tax invoice, you may have seen some format of tax invoice in your real life. Or if you have not seen, then there is a format in your module also. The same format I have presented here in front of you. What is the basic format of a tax invoice? This is how the tax invoice looks like. And we are going to discuss the content of a tax invoice. So what contents are there in a tax invoice? We are going to revise it quickly. See, the supplier details. Supplier details means the name, address, GST and number of the supplier. The details of the recipient same ways. The address, name and the GSTN of the recipient. Then the description of the goods. Yes, what are the goods that you are supplying? How much quantity of the goods I are supplying? What is the rate per unit of that goods? Yes, see here. What are the quantity you are supplying? What are the rate per unit of that goods, particular goods? Here say example Himalaya Herbal Cream Neem Edition, and you are supplying 10 kgs. And what is the rate? 1000 is the rate. So this is the thing. And HSN code of the same. Harmonized system of nomenclature. Yes, HSN code, the code given in the GST system to that particular product. See, the HSN code for Himalaya Herbal Cream Neem Edition is 44003 like this. So this code should be there, HSN code, this all details. And what is the some details about HSN code? If the aggregate turnover is less than equal to 5 crore, then it is compulsory in the case of B2B to issue 4-digit HSN code, and optional for B2C to issue 4-digit HSN code. But if the aggregate turnover is more than 5 crore, in that case, business to business supply either or business to customer supply, both the cases 6-digit SSN code should be generated. Yes, it should be written in the invoice itself. If you are issuing invoice where tax to be paid in reverse charge, you have to mention it that tax to be paid on reverse charge basis. Yes, again other details, the date of invoice with its invoice number, which is of say 16 characters, less than equal to, it may be 15, 14, 12, anything but not more than 16 characters like this. Then the shipping address and the billing address. In this you can bifurcate the bill to ship to models. Again the details, taxable value. On this taxable value, how much is the rate you are going to apply and which tax is to be levied. CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST says everything. And again here the amount of tax along with the rates. Yes, and after that the main thing, signature. Yes, the main thing, signature of the person issuing the invoice. Now this is all about the format of a tax invoice. Yes, this is all the content of a tax invoice. Now coming forward to the word e-invoicing. Now, as tax invoice, they are given the content, but what majority of the people will do, they will have their different formats. We know what should be the content, but the content should be in the format we describe it. Say for me, I have written the customer's address, recipient address and details in the right side of the invoice. Some other person has mentioned in the left side of the invoice. Some other person may mention it at the top of the invoice. Some will mention it at the bottom of the invoice. Like this. Like this, the format will differ. Yes, it will be differ according to the different peoples who are issuing the invoice. The content will be the same, no doubt. You have told us the content will cover all the content 100%, but the invoice format will be different. So to make that format easier and reconcilable, proper e-invoicing concept came with a common format to all of the person who is doing e-invoice, issuing e-invoice. Now e-invoice to be generated on the portal. Yes, so there will be a common format for all. In this format, if they generate, then the format problem will be resolved. Again, there will be paper elimination, cost reduction. Some are the benefits here also, e-invoicing, cost reduction, elimination of the paper, early payments, internal control will be good, and accuracy reconciliation will be better as compared to in manual invoices. Yes. Now, these are the benefit of invoices. Now, who is required to generate invoice? In business to business case, the supplier whose aggregate turnover is more than 5 crore is compulsorily required to generate e-invoice in the given format at the portal. Yes, he is required to generate the invoice. Now, sir, are there any person who are not required to generate invoice if their aggregate turn also increased by 5 crore? Yes, more than 5 crore. So these are the person, though their aggregate turnover crosses 5 crore limit, then also they are not required to generate the invoice. See, who are the person? SEZ, Insurance Banking NBFC Financial Institution, GTA Goods Transport Agency, Passenger Transport Service Provider, exhibition of a cinematographic film multiplex streams, it means movies, yes, and government department. This person, though their aggregate turnover crosses the limit of 5 crore also, mandatory requirement of generating invoicing is not applicable to these cases. Yes, otherwise to everybody it will be compulsory. Now what is the procedure? First of all, prepare the invoice and generate it on your ERP system or accounting system, yes, whatever it will be, or billing system, manual system, whatever the manual system may be, generate your invoice there first. Now after that go to the invoice registration portal. After that, go to the registration portal, invoice registration portal. It is a website specifically made for the invoicing process. Yes, invoice registration portal. At this portal, you are going to upload your invoice. As soon as you upload your invoice details, yes, details on this portal, IRN will be generated. So IRN, invoice reference number. Invoice reference number will be generated along with QR code and along with the PDF format of your invoice. Now that invoice details you can share it with the recipient, and that invoice detail will automatically be shared with the GST system and e-way bill system. Yes, as soon as on the IRP you put your details, this detail will automatically will send it to the GST system and the e-way bill system. In the GST system, you can use it while filing your returns. On the e-way bill system, you can use it while making the e-way bills. Yes. So this is the process how the invoicing is helpful to frequent the process. Yes. Sir, can we cancel IRN invoice registration number? Yes. You can cancel the invoice reference number on IRP, but you cannot amend it. You cannot revise it. You can amend the IRN only on the GST portal, but you can cancel it on the IRP. You cannot make any changes on IRP. You can just cancel it. But if you want to make changes, go to the GST portal. There you can make changes on the IRN generated. Now, next thing, QR code. As we have seen that IRN is generated along with QR code. So QR code, yes, QR code is generated, and it is a fashion of QR code after Google Pay, Phone Pay. Many of you know the QR code, quick response code. In that, this detail should be compulsorily accessed. Yes, when you scan the QR code, you should get these details basically. Yes, basically these details you should get. What are the details? GSTN of the supplier, recipient, invoice number is given by the supplier, date of generation of invoice, invoice value, number of line items, HSN code, unique invoice reference number, date of generation of iron. All these details should be there in the QR code. Now there was a concept of dynamic QR code, which is compulsory to a person who is having aggregate turnover of more than 500 crore. Yes, 5 crore for invoice, 500 crore for dynamic QR code. Now, what is dynamic QR code? I will explain you. Dynamic QR code, in that dynamic QR code, say for example, when you scan a normal QR code, a simple QR code, what happens? When you scan it, it will directly push you to the amount page. You have to manually put your amount. Say you have to pay 1000 rupees, you have to put it 1000, and then you will click on the next, and after that you will come on the pin page. You have to enter the pin and the payment is made. Now, dynamic QR, this was simple QR code. Okay. Now, what is dynamic QR code? In dynamic QR code, say for example, you have visited DMart. At the billing counter, if you say that, sir, I have to pay online. Now, what he will do? He will generate a QR code on that small screen itself. Yes, along with amount written on it. When you scan that QR code, you directly come to the PIN page. Yes, you have to directly now enter the PIN. You don't have to enter the amount. The amount will be directly automatically entered. Now you have to enter the PIN, and automatically when you enter the PIN, the amount will be paid off. No need to put that amount. Yes, this is the thing. So dynamic QR code requirement when the aggregate turnover is more than 500 crore. When the dynamic QR code is not applicable, see, these people were exempted earlier from e-invoice also, and they are exempted also in the dynamic QR code requirement. See, GTA, goods transport agency, insurance, banking company, passenger transport service, this cinema, yes, multiplex screen cinema. So these are not required to generate dynamic QR code, and these people are not also required to generate the invoice. This is all about the dynamic QR code. Now the revised tax invoice. Sir, what do you mean by revised tax invoice? Now, here you can relate with the registration chapter. Now, as soon as you became the liable for registration, you became liable for registration. Within 30 days, you should apply for registration. If you applied within 30 days, the effective date of registration will be the date on which you became liable. There may be a time gap between the date you are liable and the date you got the registration certificate. The date you got the registration certificate, on that day only you will know the GSTN number. Up till that, in this time gap, say there is a time gap of 10 days when you are liable and when you receive the certificate. Now in this 10 days, you have issued invoice. Yes, you had issued invoice. Yes. Now you can issue tax invoice in those days. Sir, we are not having the GSTN, and the supplier GSTN is compulsory in the tax invoice itself. So what you can do? This 10 days tax invoice can be revised tax invoice. First issue dummy tax invoice, yes, or say normal tax invoice. Now, as soon as you get the GSTN number, now you can issue revised tax invoice in the 10 days, last 10 days that you have issued without your GSTN number. So this is all about revised tax invoice. Now consolidated tax invoice. Now this is the provision in case say, for example, any recipient does not require invoice, or say the recipient itself is a unregistered person, or the invoice value is very less than 200 rupees. So in that case, instead of giving separate invoices, the supplier can generate an consolidated invoice in which all the recipients are present, like this recipient. Yes, all the recipients will be present in a single invoice. Yes, this is called as consolidated tax invoice. Yes, we are revising the things. Now there are other tax paying documents also. Say bill of supply, receipt voucher, refund voucher, payment voucher, delivery challan, credit note, debit note. When we are talking about all these tax paying documents, you will observe that every tax paying document is having 95% of the same content. Yes, see here, GSTI name and address of the supplier is there. Here also it is there. Here also it is there. So 95% you are going to see the same thing. What you have to keep remember in your mind, the meaning of each and every document, when it is issued and to whom. Bill of supply. We all know that. Bill of supply is issued in the case of composition levy. Yes, in that case, he cannot issue tax invoice, but he can issue bill of supply. So, bill of supply is issued in the case of composition. Yes, receipt voucher. When you pay any advance amount for a particular supply of goods or service to a particular supplier, the supplier in return gives you a particular document as a proof that I have received your advance. And that document is none other than a receipt voucher. Yes. And what happen if such advance you have received and something happens that you have to refund that advance, right? You have to give back the advance right now. You are not able to supply the things, or the things were not possible. Yes. So you have to return that advance that you have received in case of receipt voucher. Now to cancel that receipt voucher, again refund voucher is being issued against the advance that you are going to refund. Yes, the advance you have received, in case when the advance was received, you should receipt voucher. Now, when you are going to refund this advance, to cancel this receipt voucher, you are going to issue the refund voucher. That is the refund voucher. Now, again, payment voucher. Payment voucher is issued in case of 9394. Sir, 9394? Reverse charge. Oh, yes, reverse charge. In the case of reverse charge, who is going to pay tax on the supplies made by the supplier? The recipient pays the tax. And when the recipient pays the tax on such supplies, he should issue a payment voucher to the supplier as a proof that I have paid the tax on your supplies. This is a proof that I have paid the tax, payment voucher, and it is given to the supplier by the recipient. So this is all about the payment voucher. Yes, we are revising the things. Now, another document is there, delivery challan. This is called as Rule 55 challan. Delivery challan. Yes. What do you mean by delivery challan? Say, I will give the example, best example, the second example of job work. What happens in job work? Sir, we are sending raw materials to a person, and in return, that person is going to create finished goods and send back to us. Now, when you are sending the raw materials to that person, you have made any type of supplies? No, sir. You have not made any supplies. But the goods are being transported from one place to another, being reason other than supply. You have not made the supply. You are sending the goods to the job work. In return, he is going to give finished goods to you. This is the reason, not a supply. So, in that case, delivery challan is being issued. Yes, a supporting document that goods are going for delivery purpose only. They are not going as a supply. So this delivery challan should be issued in triplicate, means 3 copies. It should also be declared in the e-way bill. Yes, this delivery challan should be declared in the e-way bill. Okay, and in cases of liquid gas transportation where the quantity is not known at the time of supply, so at that case delivery challan will be issued. Transportation, yes. Job work, I told you the example, and other cases notified. So delivery challan is being generated with a serial number of 16 characters, less than equal to 16 characters, and this is the 95% similar detail as we have seen above in this. So this is all about the cases of tax paying document. Now there is another one condition, SKD CKD. Sir, what do you mean by SKD CKD? Semi knocked down, completely knocked down. Now, what happened? Say, what happened? Take an example of windmill. Yes. So, if you want to establish a windmill at a particular place, you will install the windmill at your factory itself and transport the installed windmill on a vehicle. It cannot be transported like this. So, what do you have to do? You have to part that windmill and send in parts. Say you are going to send in the first consignment the fan, second consignment the motor, third consignment the base, fourth consignment the stand, and the last consignment the tools required. Like this you are going to send it. When you are going to send the one consignment, now this is called as completely knocked down goods consignment or semi knocked down goods consignment, which are in a knocked down condition, but it is a one product. Yes, it is a one product that is going to be installed at a particular site. In that case, with the first consignment itself, you should issue the tax invoice, and in the subsequent consignments, after that first consignments, delivery challan is required to be issued. In case of CKD, SKD condition goods. Remember this. Now coming towards credit note, debit note. Now what happened? Say for example, you have sent some goods to the place of the recipient. You have made a supply. Now what happened? The supplier sent the goods. Now the recipient received 10 kgs. And on the invoice, it is written 12 kgs. Oh my god, 2 kgs extra. So the invoice is made by valuing 12 kgs and accordingly that amount is charged. So the invoice is overvalued. When the original tax invoice is overvalued, now what to do, sir? These details have been entered on the GST portal also. Now the GST portal details are entered. We cannot amend it easily. So there should be legal validity to change the original tax invoice, to revise the original tax invoice, to amend the original tax invoice. So when you require to amend or revise the original tax invoice, what do you have to revise in the original tax invoice? The value of goods or services. The value of goods or services you have to change. If you want to change the value of goods or services in the original tax invoice, then you have to issue credit note and debit note, because it is a legal method by which the values of the original tax invoice can be revised or changed. It is a legal method. So in our case, the invoice is showing 10 kg, the invoice is showing 12 kg and actually received 10 kg. So now what you are going to do? Reduce the value of invoice. When you want to reduce the value of invoice, you have to issue credit note. Yes, reduce, issue credit note. And vice versa, if you want to add the value of invoice, you have to correct it. Say what you have done, invoice is of 8 kgs and actual delivery of 12 kgs. So you have to increase, add 4 kg more. So in that case, if you want to do addition in the value of invoice, then you have to issue debit note. And if you want to reduce the value of invoice, you have to issue credit note. And this is all about the invoice chapter. And this is how we have completed the successful revision of the invoice chapter. Now meet you in the next video of the next topic. Up till that, bye bye to all of you. Hello students, I am here with an announcement. Yes, a shocking announcement. Yes, shocking announcement. So tell us the announcement. Now, our CA Inter taxation batches are starting, regular batches are starting from 21st of September, and CA Foundation all subject regular batches are starting from 25th of September, and that too in 100% English language. Yes, 100% English language, and also at a very shocking price. So do you want to know the shocking price and details of the batch? You can contact on the given number on the screen. So up till that, bye bye to all of you. Meet you in the regular batches.